Okay, so I'm going to show you how to set up a simple logic and reason puzzle that you can play with your kids, have a little bit of fun with the blocks, and have a little bit of fun thinking. It's very hands-on, it's very tactile, which I really like, and I think a lot of the kids do as well. So what you're going to need is 300 blocks laid out as shown here on the desk. What you want to do is leave a little space between them, just because they are their own separate space, and each of them are going to house a pile of blocks. What we're going to need on top of that is a 3 block, a 2 block, and a 1 block, or a 1, 2, and 3 block. As you can see, you're already doing a little bit of counting here, 100, 200, 300, and then 1, 2, 3. I know that's not much math, but it's a little bit of math even though it is a logic and reason puzzle. So take your largest value block or unit block and place it either on here or on here, on either end, and then the next largest value would go on top of that, and then of course the least value block would go on the very top. The object of this puzzle is to go and take this pile of blocks and move it all the way over here to this 100 block on this end, and or take the same pile and move it all the way over here like this. Now that's really easy, just lift it up and move it over, or lift it up and move it over, but that's actually not what we're trying to do. What you have to do is take only the top block and only 1 block at a time each time you make a move. So in this particular case, the top block is the 1 unit block, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to move it. Now I can move it over here or here because both of these spaces are open. Now the next block I have to move is the 2. I could still move the 1 if I wanted to over here, but I've decided I'm going to move the 2, so I'm going to move it here. I can't move it here because it has a bigger value than the 1. So you're not allowed to place a bigger value block on top of a smaller value block. So we put the 2 here. Now I can move the 1 to either here, or if I chose, I could move the 2 back, depending on what my thought process was. I'm going to take the 1 and move it there. Now I'm going to move my 3 here. I'm going to move my 1 here, my 2 here, my 1 here, my 3 here, my 1 here, my 2 here, and my 1 here. And I've been successful in moving it from here to here. Now I've done this a couple of times, so it's fairly easy for me. What you want to do is see how many moves it takes you to move your pile from here to here, and then try to challenge yourself to do it in a less amount of moves. The minimum amount of moves to move your pile from here to here is 7, so once you've hit 7 moves, then you've pretty much, there's no more challenge. You need to move up. And so that's when you would add in another unit block, a bigger one than the 3, so the 4 underneath. And now you'd be trying to move this whole stack from here to here. And or if you had started over here, you would move it from here to here. But since we're already here, let's try and move this stack. Can you see how I'm not placing any... Oh, I don't know if my thought process was good here or not. I'm thinking perhaps maybe I did not think this all the way through, and that's okay. This is how we learn. Oh boy, I think I'm stuck. Nothing wrong with starting over again. So I'm going to start over again, and I'm going to move that one there, this one there, and this may have been what got me in trouble in the first place, not really sure. Oh, well, at least I got my 4 out of there. Can you see how this can take a little bit of thought? To actually get it to go where you want it to go. And I'm going to tell you that I do not think I solved that in the least amount of moves possible. The least amount of moves for 4 blocks is 15 moves. So I did solve it though, and that's the key. It's just having some fun and fooling around and thinking and trying to see if you can solve the puzzle. It's not about getting to the minimum amount, but if you get it solved and you want to challenge yourself, you want to try and get it to the least amount of moves possible. In this case, with 4 blocks in your pile, it's 15. And as you add more blocks, if you were to add in 5, I believe it goes up to 31 as your minimum move, and it gets increasingly larger and larger and larger. If you were to have a 10 and a 3 block taped together underneath, and you had 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that would be your pile of blocks, it would take you over 8,000 moves to move this pile from here to here. So I don't suggest that you try or ask your children to try to do anything maybe more than this. Maybe even the 6 you could push in, but I think that would be pretty challenging even for that. The key here is you do want to challenge them but not frustrate them. So be aware that the minimum amount of moves to move a 3 pile of blocks versus a 4 pile of blocks versus a 5 pile of blocks versus a 13 pile of blocks is significantly different. So go ahead, get your blocks out and have some fun just playing a simple logic and reason puzzle with your kids. Try it first with yourself though, just so you get an idea of how it works before giving it to your kids, because they'll probably want a little bit of help depending on their age. You know, make it fun, do it together if they need the help, and if not, let them go for it. All right, have a good time playing with your blocks.